This is the new Mercedes-AMG GT R PRO. Now the normal AMG GT R is already car porn, but this is so much more hardcore that Mercedes has had to put it behind a 30 grand paywall. And in this video, I'm going to be finding out just how extreme it is.
Buying a new car? Head to carwow to get offers from the UK's top dealers. carwow.co.uk, the car buying comparison site.
The GT R PRO uses the same engine as the GTR, so it's a 4-litre twin-turbo V8. It produces 585 horsepower and has 700 newton meters of torque. You've got your twin turbos there inside the V, so it's called a hot V, and that reduces the distance that the air has to travel to get into the engine, so you get maximum responsiveness. The engine drives the rear wheels via a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic gearbox with a transaxle, which means that the gearbox is actually in the back of the car for improved weight distribution. Mercedes says this car will do 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds, but I'm not so sure it's going to be able to do it today because the track is a bit damp. Pilot Sport Cup 2 tyres, while sticky when hot, quite cold right now, and I'm driving. I've got the car into race mode, I've got the stability control in sport, I've got my specialist timing gear here. Foot on the brake, floor the throttle, we're off. Come on, hook up, that's it. Oh, traction issues, but we're off now. Took a while to hook up. I've got a time, 4.8 seconds. That's the conditions, it's the driver. I'm sure a pro on the right day with warm tyres would do a lot better. As with the normal GTR, you get carbon ceramic disc brakes at the front, gripped by 6 piston calipers. However, the diameter of the disc here on the GTR PRO is slightly larger. They're 402mm rather than 390mm that you get on the normal GTR. At the back, you have the same brake disc diameter, 360mm. However, on the Pro, the rears are carbon ceramic as well as the fronts, whereas they're just normal steel on the normal GTR. I'm going to use my specialist timing gear to do a brake test from 70 miles an hour. When I reach the line down cone, I'm going to do a full emergency stop. That is then 50 metres to the end cone. Hopefully this car will stop before then. It should do, considering the brakes it's got on it, but let's find out for real. Let's get to 70. No problem. Oh! It stopped from 70 miles an hour in 45 metres, which is actually all right considering I hit a wet patch right at the very end there, which didn't help. The front wishbone suspension is made out of forged aluminium for added strength, just like in the normal GTR. However, the Pro doesn't have just a standard anti-roll bar like the normal GTR. It upgrades it to an adjustable carbon fibre one. Meanwhile, at the back, all the suspension bushings are solid, whereas in the normal GTR, they're just solid for the lower part of the suspension. There's a carbon fibre chassis brace underneath the car to keep it nice and stiff. The car is fitted with dynamic engine mounts, so when you floor the accelerator, the engine doesn't twist in the chassis. They're in here somewhere. The car comes with adjustable coilover suspension, so you can adjust the springs for preload and the dampers for compression and rebound. The car is fitted with rear wheel steering, so when you're going slowly, the back wheels turn in the opposite direction of the fronts, so you can make tight turns, but then when you're going quicker, they turn in the same direction as the front to aid high-speed stability. There's a carbon fibre roof and a magnesium bonnet to help keep the weight down and lower the centre of gravity. Now let's talk about the design. So here at the front, you've got the same widened body as you've got on the normal GTR, but the Pro adds lots of extra aero, such as these winglets here. This whole front splitter is adjustable, so you can alter the amount of downforce at the front end. The Pro also gets this unique bonnet and body stripe. If you really wanted this, you could visit someone like Yanimais and he'll just put that on for you for a reasonable price. Unless you're me, then he'll probably charge double. Just like the normal GTR, you have carbon fibre door mirrors, carbon fibre side skirts. You've also got 19-inch alloy wheels at the front and then 20s at the back. And this bit here, which is made out of carbon fibre, don't know what you call that other than a bit. The Pro though has slats here, just on the wings. Lets the high pressure air out of the wheel well, reduces lift, and once again, some stripage here. Yanni, could you do this? How much would this be? Let us know in the comments below. At the back, just like on the normal GTR, you've got a big wing. The Pro adds this little gurney flap there for a bit of extra downforce. The mounts for the wing are exposed rather than covered, and of course it's adjustable. Then there's this vent here, like on the normal GTR. Large central exhaust, which looks very cool, and this carbon fibre rear diffuser. The Pro adds these extra bits here. That's really going to help you. Just looks cooler. That's what you're paying extra money for. I'm sure it does, you know, shave a few tenths off a lap time, sure. Here on the inside, it's just like the normal GTR pretty much. You've got a lovely Alcantara steering wheel with a driving mode selector here and other modes that you can select here, all nice and easy at hand. And then you've got a digital driver's display, you've got your main infotainment screen as well, this huge centre tunnel separating you from your passenger, buttons on it which light up when you turn the car on for more functionality. They do pretty much the same as those here. So you've got lovely Alcantara, and generally build quality is pretty blooming solid. What you'd expect from a car at this price. It starts from £188,000. Whew. Now, the upgrades over the GTR are these carbon fibre bucket seats. They're lightweight, of course, and they do actually bring the weight down of this car. The Pro weighs in at 1,635 kilos, which is 15 kilos lighter than the normal GTR. The Pro also gets a roll cage. Oh yeah. If you want to, you can actually have 4-point racing harnesses. This just has the normal seat belts, which are much easier to use. And the final difference between the Pro and the normal GTR is this. Instead of shiny carbon fibre, you have matte carbon fibre, which is infinitely cooler. Not that you'd buy a car like this for lugging stuff about, but in case you need to, the boot capacity is actually quite a decent 350 litres. The only problem is that with the Pro, the roll bar gets in the way. On the normal GTR, you could like load it all the way up to here, to the seats pretty much, but unfortunately, it's the price you pay for improved safety. And that brings on to 5 annoying things about this car. While it's great that you can adjust the suspension springs for preload, in order to do that you need to take the wheels off and use some spanners and stuff. You can't just twiddle a knob in the cabin like I prefer to do. What a horrendous childish badge for such a serious car. And that's all I have to say on the matter. If you're foolish enough to open the bonnet all the way to give you excellent access to the engine, when you come to close it, you're not going to get the leverage. You're going to wish that you taller. Can you help me? Social distancing. Thank you very much. Now I should be able to get the leverage. Oh, yeah. These wingback seats are great for holding you in place when you're cornering. The trouble is that they stop your arm from going back to operate the gear selector, so you're having to go like that, which is all a bit, oh, it's so awkward. While this car can lap the Nürburgring in 7 minutes 4 seconds, which is 6 seconds quicker than the normal GTR, it's still 20 seconds slower than a Porsche 911 GT2 RS will do it in. Now, if you want to see my full in-depth video review of the Porsche 911 GT2 RS, click on the pop-out banner up there. Now, I'd just like to say I'm really thankful that we've got social distancing, because that means that no one can come close to me to kick me for mentioning the Nürburgring like they normally do. Didn't think about that.
It's not all negative though. Here's 5 good things about this car.
You get a titanium exhaust back box, and all the steel bits for the rest of the exhaust are thinner than on the standard GT. So it's lighter and also sounds better. Just like on the GT race cars, when you turn the stability control off, you can then alter the intervention from the traction controls, therefore wheel slip. And there's 9 different settings from on to, oh my God, it's off! All this extra aero on the car gives you 155 kilos more downforce over the standard AMG GT, yet somehow it also has less drag. Probably shouldn't lean on it, it's quite expensive. There's special electrically controlled flaps here, which open when the car needs cooling, but when you need improved aero when you're going fast, they actually shut off, and they're strong enough to stay shut even at the car's 198 mph top speed. The gearing on this car has been specifically set up for the racetrack, so first gear is taller than on the normal GT, yet 6th and 7th are slightly shorter for better high-speed acceleration. Okay, let's see what this bad boy's like on a twisty road. Oh, the steering is really quick. Must be that rear wheel steering, just kind of chucks it into a corner. It grips all right. Once you start lifting off, it tightens up. Well, whoa! Thank God for the driver's aids there, not turning them all the way off. I mean, it feels like an absolute animal. The gearbox, it's not quite as responsive as Porsche PDKs, but it's still pretty quick. You can definitely feel what's going on. It does take some getting used to though, this rear wheel steering. It's like the way you turn the wheel just feels a bit odd, so it turns in and then it stops really turning on you. But it does make it agile. Whoa! No, these tyres have got some heat into them. They are good tyres. Considering it's such a brute, I do feel quite confident in it. It doesn't feel quite as agile or as intuitive and pure feeling as a McLaren 600 LT. In fact, if you want to see my full in-depth video review of the McLaren, click on the pop-out banner up there to go watch it. Obviously this is a track-focused car, but you are going to want to drive it to the track. One thing you do notice is that visibility is awful. The view at the back because of that roll cage diabolical. And you sit quite low down, you've got that huge bonnet, so it's hard to tell where the corners of the car are. So when you're in town, it's all a bit scary. You don't want to be catching your front splitter on speed humps or anything like that, because it's super expensive and it's a very low car. Another thing that you notice as well is that the gearbox, sometimes when you're just pootling around town and pulling away, it's a bit jerky. The suspension, surprisingly, is pretty decent over bumps. You wouldn't think it would be, but it seems better than the normal GT. When you go on the motorway at speed, if you need to overtake someone, no problem at all. One issue is the noise though. You get a lot of noise and it's made worse by that roll cage. It just seems to transmit noise and vibration into the cabin. As for the economy, you probably think it'd be dreadful, but 24 miles per gallon, which for what is essentially a race car, it's okay, I guess. One last thing to do, turn all the stability off and see if this thing will slide. Yeah, it does that. This is what this car's about. It's just so easy to do. That's enough of that kind of carry on. Finally, let's talk about the price. So the AMG GT range kicks off at £99,000, but the GTR version is £157,000, and this GTR Pro, £188,000. So is it worth the extra £31,000 for all those upgrades? Let me know in the comments below. So then, what's my final verdict on the AMG GT R Pro? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should shortlist it. I mean, it really is a very good focused sports car. It's just there are some other sports cars which are a little bit more focused still. While this car can lap the Nürburgring in 7 minutes 4 seconds, which is 6 seconds quicker than the normal GTR, it's still 20 seconds slower than the Porsche 911 GT2 RS will do it in. Thankfully, due to social distancing, no one can get near me to kick me.